Alright, greetings Panadians, and welcome to me explaining why MapleCon 2025 was a scam. And before we get actually started, you can probably tell from my voice already, I do apologize if I clear my throat or cough a couple times during this recording. I think I got sick on the way back because people don't know how to cover their mouths on a plane apparently. But to start, the Platinum Pass tickets. Generally speaking, anyone who bought it got scammed. And the reason being is for the following. General perks for the actual Platinum Pass was the following. Early access to the merch line by an hour early. That didn't happen. Exclusive chance to win the official 20th anniversary silver medal. I want to say that's technically a scam because I'll explain that later once we get to that part of the video. But long story short, people hated the event so bad that they left early before the giveaway. Was that their fault? Probably. Ultimately speaking, I wouldn't say so. And not to mention, the faster entry. Skip lines for priority check-in and security lanes so you could get in and enjoy the event sooner. And that didn't happen. And the reason being is, let me pull up my notes real quick, is simply because, from what I saw at the actual event, there were more Platinum Pass holders than general admissions. The line for Platinum Pass ticket holders at the entrance was moving faster than general admissions, but before the lines were even split, general admission pass holders went in before or with the Platinum Pass holders. So they shouldn't have gotten that benefit, but they did. Not only that, while I was actually in the lines, there were literally no Nexon employees from even past like maybe 100 feet past the line to all the way down to where the line was. Ultimately speaking, Nexon didn't hire enough staff. From what I can tell, it looks like they had the same exact amount of staff for the previous 3 Maple Fests, but didn't bother to account for the fact that how many they've sold for this year for a MapleCon, and didn't have the appropriate staff to accommodate and handle the amount of people who were coming in. So that was the entry issues. The entry issues, like for even me personally, I got in at approximately 10:05, so I got in with the general admission. So therefore, and I got there at 8:30. It took me an hour and a half-ish to get from where I was in the line up until the actual entry. And I actually left the line due to one of the Nexon staff or the contractors that they had at the event guiding the line after nearly an hour waiting, which was like 9:30, 9:40, of them finally having somebody come down at the 100-foot point, saying, hey, we're splitting the lines. General admission's this way, Platinum is this way. And he said it wrong, so I went with the general admissions. But thankfully, I had somebody in the line who didn't leave, who actually heard it, but never told me, apparently. That's technically my fault. But I was able to reclaim my line, on my spot on the line on the way back. So thankfully that happened, because if not, I would have actually gotten there like maybe like 10:30 or maybe at 11. Or even worse, some people got in at 12 or even 1. I feel sorry for those guys. But yeah, that's essentially how the Platinum Pass was a scam. None of the benefits truly came through. And not only that, hold up. Let me take a look up here real quick. Where is it? Let's see. Want to even get even more in-game rewards? Platinum tier tickets come with an additional coupon. Yeah, they were so lazy, they never bothered to print a second coupon. The brochure for the Platinum Pass holders were the same as the general admissions. They each got a singular code that allows you to get all of the stuff or just partial of the stuff. Which is why that you actually saw an announcement during the actual event on the Discord saying, hey, the items were either the wrong date or untradeable. So yeah, Nexon screwed up on that one as well, just because they were too lazy to split it. Which is unfortunate because I got rid of the code so I can actually recoup some of my losses of the actual event. Good job, Nexon. Although technically that's also my fault for making that decision. But ultimately on them because they couldn't even be bothered to actually do what they said. Nexon doing what they say is kind of like a 20-80% chance that they won't, actually go through with it. But yeah, other than that, I think that covers pretty much anything and everything about the actual pass itself. And I'll talk about the entry issues and the priority issues. Now to go to the actual merch problems. The merch problems is kind of an enormous and an impressive screw-up on their half. As I mentioned, I got in at around 10:05. I went straight to the merch line. I went in got everything done. I had to figure out how to fix it because the physical codes that they handed out for people to use at the merch store by scanning the QR code. Fun fact, the website got leaked to everybody else, so people outside were ordering before people inside were even able to order because they were just busy ordering while they were waiting in line. So Nexon, good job, you dumbasses. So yeah, the codes that they handed out didn't do anything. So you had to either have someone tell you or go to the staff, either the help desk or the two unfortunate contractors at the front entrance of the merch store, and ask them why it wasn't working. We had to write QR1 and not the 6-7 digit code that they gave us, which was completely useless. Intentional design flaw. Nice job, Nexon. So that doesn't even begin to explain. Well, actually, it does kind of explain it. The fact that the URL for the website got leaked to people outside. Combination of hundreds of people outside ordering and the few dozen people inside ordering merch. And I think the people outside got a better benefit of it because inside the venue is a giant concrete and metal box. So your internet connection was garbage. Barely anybody had good internet. Only one person that I can name was actually streaming. I don't know what kind of internet they have, but they were able to get connected well enough. So I got it at 10:05. I placed my order at 10:16. And then between, I guess, 9:30 to like 11, their website crashed. So not only did it crash, but when they brought it up, they were too stupid and too incompetent to account for the fact that when it went down, every item on their store restocked. So they weren't even appropriately counting who got what or which got ordered first. So pretty much guaranteed after like 9:15 or 9:30, if you ordered anything, congratulations, you got screwed. Wanna know why beyond that? It's because holy moly, there was theft. People were stealing merch because the event contractors that Nexon hired were so stupid, so lazy, and so overwhelmed. That part isn't their fault, but I'm still gonna blame them because at this point it is their fault. If you took a copy of your receipt and gave it to a friend, and you both went to the front of the line, guess what? You both got your items. And not only that, some people were literally doing it on accident. Like, for example, let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Like, this is just a couple of screenshots about the merch problem. People got their merch and lined up and again and get it again. System was down, so you just show the receipt and they give you shit. No verification. Second one, can verify for someone another source. I heard some people who didn't even have badges go through QR1, which is actually the location that you have to put in the website to actually get your order. And they also just order and pick up with a copy of the receipt. Quite literally. Somebody, if I remember correctly, had done it 7 times. So there were literally people organizing this shit and stealing product. So not only is it Nexon's fault, it's also select people in the community who are just grossly horrible people doing this. Hell, some people actually went to the event and made profits off of the event. Not only based off of the merch, but also the fact that some people sold the ticket coupons for over $200 to $300. So if you bought the Platinum ticket, congratulations, you made a profit of $20 per ticket. Some people bought multiple. Let's see, what else? Where is it? Let's see, still in line at 8 for merchants trying to ban, there's a refund chance. Yeah, some people are even doing chargeback because of the fact that they stayed so long at the event that they couldn't even stay there long enough to get rid of it. Now that is pathetically amazing, Nexon. And then, this one's just covering the additional code. I covered that as well. Let's see. These are just a couple of memes about it. Yeah, look at this. The Illusion. General Admissions Pass and the regular Platinum Pass. The illusion of choice. And not only that, this one's just another one saying expectations, good stuff, good news. I will not deny. Do not take that as me as calling all of the updates and all the information that we got as bad. Ultimately, they were good news. But that was ultimately the only good thing about it. The news could have easily been skippable. You could have just done it online. There's literally no reason to go to the con unless you had some people you want to meet with, because I barely got to meet with some of the people that I was hoping to meet there. But man, I mostly spent all this money to go from New York, fly to LA, stay at LA for 2 days. That was my fault. I was supposed to stay for 3 days, but whatever. And actually buy merch. I wanted a lot of the things that I went out there for. The mood lamp was sold out or stolen. couple of the keychains that I wanted were stolen. And not only about the keychains. Hold up, where are you? Go to the gadget machine. Yeah, the stuff for the gachapon machine, I thought these were also sellable. Wanna know why? Because they were deliberately labeled as product images may vary from final products sold on site. So them saying that they were going to sell them as well, that was completely false. False advertisement. Good job, Nexon. You lied. So yeah, I wanted some of these keychains. I couldn't even go in to actually get a chance to get them from the gachapon machine, because you want to know why? The gachapon machines broke in less than an hour. And instead of giving them out in an orderly fashion like they were already doing, they just had somebody with a giant trash bag with all the leftover capsules for the machine and went in front of random locations and just gave them out to like a group of people. Some people got multiple. Some people got like 5 or 6. Some people were like outside were like trading them like fucking Pokemon. So yeah, Nexon, you need to hire better people for the contractors that you actually use. That was stupid. But yeah, let's see. And not to mention the components of the actual events themselves. You know, for a convention, you would assume there'd be more activities. Now, yeah, what you see here is literally all that there was. There was only 2 Punch King machines and a reaction time machine. There was a 3rd station in the arcade, but I think it was like a photo booth, and that's kind of it. And not even like an actual one and you would get at like a concert, a fair, or an arcade. No, it was just like a picture frame that you stand behind and someone just took a picture, and that's kind of it. Yeah. Let's go to the map real quick. So yeah, the merch store was garbage. The tote bag and gachapon system, yeah, they had the line for both of those things combined. I didn't even have enough time to go get a tote bag because the line was like 1/10 the line, like the length of the actual gachapon machine line. And mind you, the line didn't move for 3 hours at a point because they were trying to fix the machines for so long. It was pathetic. Yeah, so that's a bust. The food trucks, you know, I won't talk about the food trucks mostly because that's not their fault. It's California. It's an event. The food trucks are expensive, but they were marking it up by a 33% sales tax. And the ice cream guy? Okay, to those who actually at the event are watching this and know about the ice cream guy, yeah, we can all laugh at that guy. That was something. Let's see, the lounge and the backstage stuff. I got nothing really to say about that. There were like a nice projection screen for people who didn't want to go to the actual stage and watch the event or couldn't go to the stage to watch the event. And some places for people to take pictures of for like content and whatnot. So the backstage and the lounge, I would not say anything bad. And the Classic World demo, that was actually decently well organized. I already have a video on my live channel for this one, showing when I played on there. I didn't actually get to play it well enough because I didn't. They are actually doing a version of the Classic World that was older than what I played it when I first came to the game, so I was missing a lot of hidden street maps that I want to check out. We already talked about the arcade and whatnot, but yeah, pretty much the venue. The venue was somehow too big for the amount of people who were there, but simultaneously too small. You had so many things to do, but it was mostly just empty space for people to get from point A to point B, but not enough people to be even sitting at the location that they needed to be at for the stuff. The main stage room was so full, not for the lack of chairs, but that was an issue, but simply because there were too many people. The highlight of the event, which was the winter update portion of the event, which I think was like, 2-3 p.m., that was the only segment of the stage events that was so full, you had people standing in the back and on the sides, and even sitting down and lying down on the sides and the front. They oversold at a small venue that was simultaneously too big for them. If that doesn't make sense, I'm sorry, I don't know how to put it into simpler terms of how stupid that sounds. But yeah. From there, let's see, the merch system. Oh yeah, after all the segments at the the event were done, people went to go get merch. The merch, like as I mentioned, people were able to claim multiple times, and from what I can tell, I'm personally believing it because not to mention I'm seeing a lot of it on Discord and Reddit. There's also a lot of fucking people who were holding like 8 to 10 bags total of stuff. And not to mention, they were all the same size, which means that it does sound true that someone got stuff, went back in the line, over and over and over. Some people, I'm willing to bet, were doing that for the entire event. Good on them, they got free stuff. Oh, not to mention, back to the actual stage part of the stuff, I think it was the one at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. and 3:30 where they were doing the giveaways. My favorite part is about the fact is I have a recording of the actual giveaway event. I will upload it once I get it cleaned up and actually transferred from my phone. It's like, I think like 30 minutes of a video, so it's like 8 gigabytes. So that's gonna take a little time. The problem with the giveaways were some people, it wasn't as bad for the first 10 that they gave away at 1 p.m., but there were so many people who left the event or were too distracted or busy with the merch line that they had to go over certain numbers on the raffle tickets. So some people who did win, they lost. I'm hoping those people who lost, who were actually at the merch line, got their merch, not the ones who were stealing, because those silver medals, if I did the math correctly, and they're averagely weighed about at 32 ounces as a silver coin, those are like $1,500 per in terms of silver. And silver in today's market is going up constantly. Well, except for gold. Gold went down. Gold might go back up again, but that's besides the point. And not to mention, for the second round of the next 10 the silver medals, there were a lot of codes that got skipped over because people just left. Not to mention, yeah, I don't think this is technically a problem on their behalf, because they had a ticket. To those who actually didn't see it, if I could find a clear enough picture on my recording, I'll have it on screen right now, but I probably won't be able to find it. To those who know a raffle ticket system or like a raffle rolling thing, it was like a metal cage with all the tickets in there, and they were like spinning it to get the tickets. A big complaint of the event was the ticket 422,000 in that number series was the one who seemed to be always winning. I think there only was like a small handful of 4,201 ticket holders who won, and one person with 6,776. Yeah, I don't want to say that's their fault because RNG is RNG, and we saw it happen in front of us, and they were spinning it, and it's a bunch of paper, so they were going to cling to each other, so I think that's the reason why that happened. But once again, to get to that, a lot of people weren't there. I think there were more than 20 total numbers counted off, who actually won because they left. And just to show further emphasize on this one, the part of the event where they were announcing the giveaway winners for the, let's see if I can find it real quick, for the giveaway for the actual Alienware equipment, or I think it was either Alienware or HyperX. Where is it? Yeah, but I think it was the last segment. I don't quite remember what it was, but one person, her name was Jenny Puff. She won, I think it was the mouse for Alienware. And guess what? She wasn't even there. Her boyfriend stayed at the event just in case, because she was already back in her car. She went back to her car because she was already done with the event. Her boyfriend or husband, I don't know who they were, stayed behind and was lucky enough to hear it and have her ticket to claim her prize. It was stupid that you have people so disgusted and tired of the event that they've already left and missed out on the event. Mind you, ultimately, your choice to leave the actual event is your own fault, but if the reason for you leaving the event is because the event is so garbage and so so poorly executed and planned, it's astounding that you actually got anything done. Yeah. And to anyone actually wants to see what the line looked like, I have a short on my YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. The line starts behind that tree, but a little further in terms of like its perspective. And then this is going to be us turning around. Yeah, you can't really see it, but where that semi-truck is right there, behind it is where the actual line went past. That is the general admissions and Platinum Pass holder tickets combined. Both at the same time. That's how long it was. And even when they split the lines finally, it was still at that corner. Ugh. Yeah, at this point, if you're here watching this and you didn't actually go to the event, you're probably hearing this, oh, you spent the money, you took the risk, you should have known. That is true. But expecting a certain level of bare minimum competency, is that truly the person's fault? Like, the way the merch worked was, why would you have people order it on your app when the previous 3 years of merch system was way better? To those who didn't go to the event or don't know what the previous 3 years that I'm talking about are, it was the following. You went to the event, you saw what merch was available on a sign, you tell the person at the stand saying, hey, I want this item, and this item. Okay, they grab it, they put it on their tablet, charge you for it, you bag it, you walk away. Now, this one was everyone simultaneously goes on the QR code, scan it, find the correct code, because you have to find the damn code, punch in your stuff, order all at once, get a confirmation email, and then get a pickup alert. Nobody after 9:30 or 9:15 got an alert because the system crashed because somebody shared the URL to outside. Yeah. Due to that simple reason, because I know Nexon will always choose to do the dumb stuff, because there was no reason for them to do this new merch method. Nexon can't be trusted to not, like, screw up an event. They sold more platinum tickets than actual general tickets. All because, to those that don't know, and to those, I think if my, like, source on this is correct, the reason being that there's more platinum pass holders is because the fucking vinyl record, hold up, where is it? The vinyl record that you got as a platinum pass holder, like, perk, they had to have a minimum order requirement with the factory or the manufacturer for this item. So that's probably the reason why the ticket's so expensive and why they had to sell so many more versus the general admissions pass, which is why the venue was overly packed with people, was because they had to fill a minimum order and get rid of all of them. They indirectly sold it to people who didn't even want the garbage. This thing is pretty much useless. There are people on eBay selling it for $300. I'm probably going to get rid of it for like $250 or whatnot. If anyone's interested in buying it, or in New York, which would like to buy it, we can do a handoff system for that one. But this event was poorly planned, poorly executed, run by incompetent people. I'm talking about the contractor specifically. I actually saw and heard that Nexon staff were doing their best to support the contractors. Good on them. At least the staff were trying to make this event somewhat salvageable, while the company itself, I'm pretty sure Inkwell and everyone else at the higher echelon of GMS or Nexon America will do nothing. The fact that they haven't done an announcement as of this recording and uploading, I'm willing to bet that they won't do it ever. They're just going to sweep it underneath the rug. Some people have already submitted FTC and BBB complaints to the respective companies, which is the Federal Trade Commission and the Better Business Bureau. There's already been people who submitted. Someone even posted a template letter for people to use it for the Better Business Bureau. It is amazing. The amount of people who actually always send FTC complaints to Nexon, I'm surprised they don't actually have an active investigation on them right now. Although I don't really know how to check that, but that's besides the point. My point is, to summarize all of this, MapleCon 2025 was a con. It was a scam. And I don't think I will ever come back to LA to visit, another MapleCon or attend another event. At this point, if I ever want merch, I'm just going to have to order it online or find a scalper on eBay who's selling it for like 4 times the price. Or hopefully, if I have someone from New York going, I can actually try and proxy purchase merchandise through them. But ultimately speaking, Nexon, I didn't think you can screw up this one that bad. Like, the first 3 fests were substantially better than the actual convention. How did you you aimed too high. You aimed way too high, and you crash and burn because of it. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying about all this event. I probably missed a couple of points because I just woke up. I'm sick. And I couldn't get all my recordings off of my phone, so I couldn't even show those to show how bad it is. But I will have some of the segments from MapleCon uploaded, hopefully today on this channel, so you can actually see it and see exactly what it was like. The vlog, I'm going to actually put a little bit effort into the vlog if anyone's actually interested about it. I'm going to see if I can have it out by next Tuesday, maybe Wednesday of next week, just so I don't actually upload a jarble a bunch of mess. Then I need to go get a snippet and maybe see if I can find a picture of that bridge next to my hotel. Yeah, I got chased by homeless people. All I wanted was dinner. All I wanted was dinner, and I got chased by homeless people. That, LA, you have scarier homeless and crackheads than New York. Holy moly. But yeah, other than that, guys, if there's any questions about the event, anything you were curious about that you wish to see or ask me about, by all means, ask me down in the comments. I'll do my best to answer it. But with that being said, guys, thanks for watching and continued support. Hopefully y'all had a better time at MapleCon. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.